So I'm going to look at that. Firstly, to see one, my own improvements. Bang. Go Division 1 straight away with the setup. Then we jump on the other account. My true Smurf account. And we're going to do it all again, but on a controller, but with no setup. I'll try it with the controller base settings. See how good or bad it is. If I can even do it. If it's drivable. If I don't like it, I've got my controller settings ready to go. But regardless, I'm going to be doing it on controller without a setup. And we're going to test the big difference between both. Alright guys, once again we need to have a chat about a few issues on Project Motor Racing. As always, I'm your host. No, this is Jester. Feel free to hit the like, it's free. Remember, everybody loves free, right? So let's get straight into today's topic. Is the MX5 the right beginner car? Does it have a setup problem? And does it accurately represent one's ability to race online? Firstly, is the MX5 the right beginner car? Well, yes. Yes, it absolutely is. Next to the Carrera 964, it's the most appropriate car that you can learn the basics of racing on PMR. When it comes to the basics of online racing, and the ranked races especially, it has been the most common car, and the only car to have been a combo every single week of the championship so far. Something which I'm personally a little bit done with. More on that later. It has the basic fundamentals you need to help to understand the handling mechanics of the game. It has a great level of feedback, control, and outright responsiveness. It's lacking in horsepower, but it still has enough to absolutely mess up and wreck yourself and others quite easily. It's a one-make car series, and that always means close racing that's heavily reliant on the basics of car control and managing speed throughout a lap. So in theory, it should be the absolute best example of a starting car or a series on PMR, right? Not exactly. So now we ask the second question of the MX5. Does it have a setup problem? Without a doubt, it has a major setup problem. The car is so setup dependent that the difference between the haves and the have-nots is about 5 seconds to 15 seconds a lap. The setup itself, it's pretty much a hack. The tyre temps, the PSI levels, the minimum, maximum camber and height levels, it's all a bit silly. The difference between a setup on that car and no setup is absolutely astronomical. So here itself is the question, problems and answers to the MX5's setup. It is so setup dependent and everyone on the game knows it. But what about those new to the game? What do they know? Think about the new player trying to get into Project. So eager to jump online without even playing career or truly getting used to anything the game has to offer. Then they see John 27 TCT clocking laps 25 seconds faster than them at Daytona, 10 seconds faster than them at Nürburgring, even managing to be nearly 10 seconds a lap faster at the very track that they earned their so-called online license in Lime Rock. It must be so jarring, so off-putting. They must think, how is this possible in a one-make series? The amount of people with questionable intelligence that I have seen in the official PMR Discord outright calling John and other players a cheat is absolutely hilarious. The poor lads are so shook by the whooping that he hands them that they think someone is cheating. And that's because they got overtaken or lapped at what felt like warp speed to them. I have seen these accusations everywhere in the Discords, online forums, and my own streams daily. Then once some of these people get the setup, the actual improvement is instant. But herein lies the problem, one of the many problems that this car and the setup in particular. Not everyone knows about it, especially noobs. And then even if they knew, okay, it's a setup, what is the setup? Where do I get it? Why does everyone have the same one, etc., etc., etc. Not everybody is in the Discords, follows YouTube, or pores over forums looking for setups, or has the time to even look or put it into the car. Some just want to get in and drive. It's not outright common knowledge that this car really needs this particular setup. And when the setup itself is so much better than the stock one, and everyone uses it, but noobs don't know about it, why is it just not the actual stock setup for the MX5? Then we approach the final question regarding setups for this car. Should it be an outright generic one make, one setup series? Yes, I think it should. Either without the setup piece of shit it is, or everyone with the setup tire melting, PSI defying rocket that it is. Now we get to the final point. Does it accurately represent one's ability to race online? Oh shit no. This ain't the comedy club, guys. Thinking that beating 3 AI cars around Lime Rock means you can go GT racing is a good joke? No, just no, alright? There are more than enough people who may have passed the license test, but that doesn't mean they should be racing online. Hell, speaking of the license test, anybody who qualified in the last 2 updates should be made to do it again with the old AI for a real representation of their division. The current AI for the license is an absolute rollover. The most vanilla, non-aggressive, and outright scared AI in the game. The AI for those who qualified in the first week, outright murderous, outright faster, unable to be passed, pushed, or beaten without a setup or shenanigans. And now I can qualify to race online on a controller, and I'm absolutely horrible on a controller. And this is just the MX5. Just Lime Rock, really. Not the whole can of worms question of how does one qualify you or prepare you for all that with just that car. Even the 964 is such a major step up from the MX5. It isn't anywhere near as setup dependent and is barely adjustable anyways. Then the GT4s, another whole step up from them. Then we touch the first of the no TC and ABS cars with the NGT series. Still think that an MX5 test should let people in these cars race you online? So without stating all of the obvious step-ups in difficulty and the setup reliance, just look at the MX5 issues. Setup issues related to it and specifically it. And then the now laughable license testing. So what is my solution to the license testing? You know those trophies or achievements that you get? Xbox, PC guys for use, trophies for PlayStation? The 300-kilometre individual series ones. They should be the bare minimum requirement for at least those much harder categories. Now, I know that's a lot of time to put in just to enter a ranked race. It's actually only really about 90 to 120 minutes because most 250-kilometre races are about 90 minutes. So it's actually not that long, guys. 2 hours in a class should be enough to race online. I'd much rather race someone in a GT1 or a GTE that has done that rather than someone who has spent 5 minutes in the MX5 at Lime Rock. I would also propose for the MX5 that at least divisions 5 through 3 are locked, stock, and no setups allowed. Then set up from divisions 2 and up. Then apply that locked stock divisions to the other categories in ranked races. Basically, do I think the license testing needs changed? Yes. Also, going back to something I mentioned before, please replace the MX5 with the 964 in ranked races as soon as possible. I'm personally really bored of it. I think the 964 will level the playing field and lessen the setup chasm between the haves and the have-nots. Alright guys, I think that's covered every issue I think this car has and how it doesn't seem quite right when it comes to one make series. I really hope to see more people on this game, and I'm worried that the impact this car can have if it's people's first and only experience before they get online. As always, please drop a like. They really do help YouTube they really do help YouTube know you want to see more PMR content. Feel free to subscribe, even if it's your first time watching and you think any of this sounds sensible. Absolutely leave some comments letting me know if you agree on any points and abuse me if you disagree. All that interaction counts, guys. Sorry about stumbling. I've been writing scripts and then trying to record them to present them to you guys in the best possible informative way to get my points across. So sorry if it is coming across a bit robotic. I'm still trying to be myself, but come across in a much more open-minded way. So as always, I know this is Jester and I'm out of here. Please be good, guys. What does 2.5 months of MX5 driving in a setup do to you compared to night one? No setup, not knowing the track. I should go back and get the footage too. Radar needs to be moved a bit up. Oh, wow, what a joke. It's already over, guys. The test is over. What a joke. Compared to night one, ha! What a joke. The test is over. It's over. Compared to night one. Yeah, same. Oh, I copped Div 4. I'm not stuck there now. I've worked. Oh, shit. Ah, what a fuckwit. Never mind. Just didn't say that. But what a joke. First turn. I forgot it was the chicane one. I thought it was the lime rock we've been doing. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. You couldn't even keep up with them. Couldn't keep up with them off the launch. Couldn't launch the same speed as them. You certainly couldn't get past them. Like, within the first lap. You basically had to cheat to get past them. Then drop clutches. It did. It did. It did. Even Drew, bro. Even Drew's bits were good. Yeah, nah. 100%, guys. Like, this is with the setup. So imagine the guys that don't have the setup, don't know how to get the setup, haven't played this track. Like, we'll see. We'll see when I do it on controller how much harder it's going to be. But this, compared to night one, feels pretty unfair. Feels pretty unfair. Not only the car and the setup, but the nerfing of the AI. That's a big part of it too. That's probably the biggest part of it. They literally conceded when I pulled up next to them. Yeah, I've got to download that for the missus. She wants to watch it.
Now, remember those times when people have come in and talked shit and then they've been like, oh, I'm a Division 1 driver, and I've laughed at them and said that doesn't mean anything, especially now that we have the MX5 setup, because you can qualify straight into Division 1 and get an over 90 ranking straight off the bat of one race on the easiest track in the game with the easiest car, as long as you have the setup. So how does your Div 1 rating matter, really? And then those people that have come from Div 4 and 3 and made their way to Div 1, that means more. That means a lot more. But I dare say a lot of people who'd never played iRacing and driven on this track, they would have been at a major disadvantage, like myself. Getting there. There's a bit of colour difference there. Orange on the outside, red on the... Oh, fuck. It's fine. 4.3. We'll still make it. We'll still beat Div 1. I'll take the hit. That's how fine it is. It's fine. The Joker lap. What a joke. Higher rating than I have now on my main account. Oh God. Oh God. Ah! Oh, and look, they crashed. Oh, this is gold. This is the best start we could have had on controller ever. The proof is in the pudding. Brilliant. Brilliant. No setup. No setup. That was
Been a good start. Remember
yes.
to keep the
All
nose
right,
clean in
Ben.
turn one.
Shreds it off the start. Well, this is going really well. This is living, this is proving everything. Everything. I thought it was actually going to be a bit easier. I thought it was going to be doable. Yeah, they're so much easier to race around than they were. Like, I'm on a pad and I can stay away. Oh, jeez. Whatever, mate. Whatever, buddy. Penalty. that's easy to do. That's very easy on a pad.
Guys are going to be gunning for us. Quickest car right now.
Got a lot of exhaust brake on it, engine brake, just lifting on a pad. Oh. Come on, go get him. Mate, if I get Div 1 on a controller, this game is, they've nerfed it. There's no way I'm going to get Div 1. Oh, that's hard to do. Oh, that's so easy now. Tell you what, mate, anybody who qualified in that first week, qualified anywhere, good on you. You did a good job. Anybody qualified now, go do something else before you think that you're playing online, because this is a joke. They've nerfed it. Absolutely nerfed it. But you can see the speed difference. Tyre temps are lower though. Throttle control's actually fairly decent. Oh shit. Even just the differences in the clutches too. I'm not getting downshifts. Should be easy on a pad. There, they were ruthless. They were ruthless. Didn't move off the racing line unless they were diving you. And I just raced side by side with them, in and out of them on a pad, man. Fuck, that was close.
Race officials caught a track limit violation.
They didn't have that either. That was something easier about night one. The penalties. That's going to cost me. Yeah, that's what I was saying, bro. I just went Div 1 straight away.
1 to go.
I have more rating now on an account that I've never raced online with than what I do with my main account. That doesn't make sense. Division 5,
Good run. We made it to the end. Just not quite fast enough today.
824. Points of 30. Rating of 30. No setup on pad. Is that pick up and play? And I was 4 seconds faster. 4 seconds faster per lap.